guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name is Malcolm. We're here at House of Glory at Mike Santana's Puerto Rican weekend with Karissa Rivera. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, like, you have a great match tonight with Deonna Purrazzo. What's it like going into a match with two New Jersey wrestlers? Like, what's it gonna be like for you?
It is going to be super intense because we're both spicy New Jersey girls, and I'm just super excited because we used to train together back at Damian Adams School in New Jersey, but this is actually the first time that we're going to compete one-on-one.
Absolutely. Now,
So
this
we're
is
both
huge.
going to be bringing the heat.
Absolutely. Now, is there any other opponents in House of Glory that you want to get in the ring with? Because, I mean, there's a women's champion, Indy Hartwell. There's a lot of people.
Indy Hartwell. I have had my share of matches with her in NXT, and I would love to continue that here at House of Glory.
You think you would beat her?
Listen. It'd have to speak for itself. I'm not.
Absolutely. Now, I know you did some training with the Wild Samoans, or actually Alpha Jr. and Samu. What was it like training with those guys as far as getting to the wrestling business?
Oh my goodness, they are family to me. You know, my father, when he was in WWF, traveled with Alpha Senior and Sika. So my mom was good friends with them because she also traveled along sometimes. So she's the one that connected me with them, and they just took me in with open arms, and it was just their family.
Absolutely. Alpha Jr., great friend of the channel, actually. What's like a certain move or a moment that you learned like working with those guys that you like carried over to when you were a part of WWE?
So one thing, the first time that I have ever taken a backdrop was from Alpha Jr. And I was very green in the business, and he said, "It's okay, it's easy." I go to do it. As soon as we go up, because he's so tall, I was like, "Oh shit!" And so that was definitely a memorable moment.
Absolutely. What was the story like if you actually joined the WWE? How did you actually get signed to the company?
So I had worked the Indies for a bit. I had done a ton of extra work at NXT on the main roster. I also worked at Ring of Honor, at Impact at the time, and then I actually, for the first show of AEW, was there as well. I didn't wrestle, but I actually rang the bell ringside. So funny. But I had a few tryouts, and I ended up getting signed from there.
Amazing. Now, what was it like being married to Bobby Lashley?
It was very short-lived, okay? He's cheating ass.
I mean, like, he seemed like a nice guy, though, but, like, what was it like walking out during Raw, during that wedding? It's like confronting your ex-husband, I guess.
Listen, they were both about to get an ass whooping.
I love it. Now, serious question, more of a curious question. How come you weren't called up with Legado Del Fantasma when they were called to the main roster? Because, like, it doesn't make any sense to me personally.
Another good question. So we were told after Santos had his final match with Tony D'Angelo, we were all told as a group that we were all going up to the main roster. That was in, I think, like August. So for those few months, we were just waiting to get the call to find out when we were going to officially be going up and what brand we would be on. Finally, in October, we get a call on a Wednesday that all of us are going to be going up onto SmackDown, debuting that Friday. I got all my travel, everything. That Thursday, it was about 3 hours before my flight was taking off. I was checked in and everything. And I get a phone call from somebody. I'm not going to name names. And they told me that, unfortunately, I wasn't going to be going up with the boys. So there was no real explanation, and it was months of me thinking I was going up with them up into the point of literally the flight to leave to go to the city. So
they didn't like cancel the flight beforehand?
No, they called me, and then I made sure with someone else that was really what was happening because I was very confused. And they said, "Oh yeah, we're in the works of canceling your flight." But then actually, I guess they didn't really cancel it all the way because the next day I got a notification to check in for my return flight. So that was a big slap in the face.
I don't like that. But as far as like when you actually did come up to the main roster, though, what was the story behind that? Because I mean, you did debut in a great way. The crowd popped for it, of course. What was it like debuting on the main roster?
Oh my God, I was like, finally, my dream has come true. And I loved working with Santos. He's great. So I was super excited. I felt like the stars had aligned. I felt like being in NXT for that extra time, even though I did want to go up with them initially, I think that it did help me grow personally and like with my in-ring work. So I thought that it was perfect timing.
Absolutely. Now, two more questions for you. So this is your first match back since leaving WWE and House of Glory. What are your other goals right now as far as like actually wrestling, post WWE? Is it go to another wrestling company like a TNA, AEW, or is it maybe just do independent stuff? What's your goal?
Right now, I am keeping my options open. So I'm going to continue to wrestle on the indie circuit, and like I said, keep my options open. You never know where you'll see me.
Is there a person that you want to wrestle they haven't wrestled yet?
I would. Well, you know what? I don't want to give away anything because then that might suggest a specific company or something. So I'm going to keep that one to myself.
Okay.
You almost got
I was
me
trying,
there.
looking for a scoop.
Trick question.
Looking for a scoop. Final question for you. This will not be a trick question. Very simple, very easy, very fun, some may say. Elektra Lopez, what is your Waffle House order?
Oh my goodness. I might be one of the only wrestlers that doesn't really eat Waffle House. Sorry to break it to you.
Okay. I'll go to therapy. You never been to a Waffle House ever?
I have.
Okay, but so when you walked in, right, and you happened to look at one of those really sticky menus and probably a 2 a.m. restaurant in the middle of who knows North Carolina, is there anything that looked appetizing? Because there's a lot. I mean, they have salads.
I mean, they do have stuff. I think I can't remember, but I probably got steak and eggs or something like that.
Okay. See, you had a Waffle House order. She was there the whole time. Where can they find you on social media so they can follow your wrestling journey?
Okay, my Twitter, my X account, and my TikTok are all at 2 underscores, so __ Karissa, Karissa, Rivera, Rivera.
I'm looking forward to it. We're all going to follow you, follow the journey, see what's next for you. Absolutely. Guys, my name is Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory, and we're out.
We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. Ay.